Sista Skavlan inleds av 2 rockhjältar.
Leaving together still is farewell. Maybe we'll come back to earth, who can tell? Guess there is no one to blame. We're leaving ground. Things never be the same again. It's the final countdown. The final countdown. Yeah. It's the final countdown. It's the final countdown.
På 1,5 år har vår neste gjest gått fra å være en helt ukjent hjemmeværende tobarnsmor til å bli opposisjonsleder i Belarus og den eneveldige Alexander Lukasjenkos største utfordrer. Dette er Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya. Etter at hennes mann ble fengslet for sitt kandidatur under valgkampen i fjor, nominerte hun seg selv til å lede opposisjonen videre.
He was taken hostage like 9 million Belarusians.
Men den autoritære Alexander Lukasjenko vant overveldende i et høyst omstridt valgresultat, som ble starten på voldsomme og langvarige protester, forsøkt slått ned av et hardhendt politi. Hennes hjemland ble for farlig for revolusjonens ufrivillige frontfigur, men fra sitt eksil støttes hennes kamp for et fredelig maktskifte, både av presidenter som Biden og Macron, men også av millioner av landsmenn. Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, welcome to Scandinavia.
Thank you.
It's quite a situation that we could see here, and the fact that you are now leading the opposition from exile. But take me back a couple of years, take me back 2 years. What was your life like then?
Oh, last 10 years I was a housewife. I was upbringing my children. I stayed at home. I couldn't work because one of my children, a child with special needs, I had to bring him to rehabilitate him. So I have husband who was taking care about us, just financially, and I could be involved in my family. So ordinary woman. I was a teacher of English, and nothing special.
But then your husband, who's a part of the opposition, gets arrested.
Yeah.
And you're stepping up. You described it as an act of love. In what way?
This was him who wanted to run for presidency because he really wanted to do something for our country. And he had heard so many sad stories, and we saw, our economical situation of our country. No development, like people have low salaries, and he really wanted to change something. He, while having his YouTube channel, he understood that he's fighting against a monster. Because for 27 years of dictatorship, we, like people in Belarus, knew that what can I do in such situation? He has violence, brutality, and but last year something magnificent happened with people. We woke up, and when my husband claimed that I want to be the president, he was detained next day. And I wanted to show, first of all, to my husband that what he was doing is important for me, that I love him, I needed to support him somehow. it wasn't my intention, to run for presidency. It was only for him.
Why do you think you were allowed to run if he wasn't?
I'm sure that regime wanted to make love at me, because they were sure, look, who in our country would vote for a woman, for housewife, without any political background? Look, everybody will laughing at her, and the regime will be winners.
So the prospect of a female leader, like we have here, it's
and
impossible.
The fact that I was female also played its role.
But tell me about that moment when you realized that staying in Belarus was too dangerous for you and your children.
It was the next day after presidential election, and I came to Central Election Commission to print the document that we are against fraudulent election, and there I was met by two officials who described me my future if I stay in Belarus, that my husband is already in jail, you will be in jail for millions of years, and you will not see how your children will grow up. So it's like psychological pressure. And, they advised me to leave the country. And at that moment, my children already were in Lithuania. And I just, at that moment, understanding my responsibility in front of Belarusians, my inner mother won at that moment. And I left the country to join my children. It was a very difficult decision.
We just to get a picture of how the situation is. How many people has been? Democratically minded people has been jailed because of this since you left, approximately.
More than 40,000 people have been detained since last year. At the moment, in the country, 888 political prisoners, recognized political prisoners, and thousands, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, it's difficult to count, prisoners for political motivated cases.
Do you feel safe now, here in Sweden?
In Sweden, among you, I feel safe, but its safeness is a little bit more than just sitting here. We have to understand that one of journalists who was flying from one European Union country to another in the flight, and Lukashenko kidnapped this flight. He made this flight land in Minsk. And this journalist was kidnapped. So we don't know how long the regime's hands are. So I understand that I'm the target because I'm too vocal. I represent Belarusian society on international arena, and I don't know what could happen to me.
But what could we do in Sweden to help you? I mean, I actually know a woman that is very powerful in Sweden, right? So maybe I can talk to her. No, but seriously, is there any... how could we help you?
Sweden may be a separate story, because Sweden has been supporting Belarusian society for more than 25 years already. Was very active all the time, supporting students, medics, teachers, whoever else. And I just want to use this opportunity and say thank you for your speech, where you said that Belarus will be a priority for your governing. And it's very important because a lot of countries, of course, we see the huge support and solidarity from all the European Union countries, from the USA, UK, but words are words. But to make commitment to your words, it needs real prayers.
Can you understand the frustration of trying to get the West to act and that it goes so slow?
Absolutely, I can understand it. And 27 countries in the European Union, decision-making is sometimes slow. But I think you're pointing to something that is so important, that to fight for democracy in your own country, but also helping others to fight for democracy, each and one of us cannot do everything, but every one of us can participate and do something. So we should really do something and help from our different perspectives to help Belarus.
But of course, you can do even more.
I can do, yes. and really, this is something that we have been working with from the Swedish government quite intensively. But I really wanted to ask you something. I mean, to me, you're such an impressive person. This was not how you planned your life. This was not what you were striving for. But the situation came up, and you stepped forward and did what was necessary to do. It's such an inner strength. I mean, where does this inner strength come from?
You know, there are, of course, moments when I'm so exhausted, when I'm tired and overstressed. But look, every evening coming home, I see my children asking where my daddy, where I'm going to see my daddy, when will he come back? And I understand that there are thousands of broken families. Thousands of people are suffering in jails, are humiliated there. And you understand, you have no choice. You have to move forward because people believed in you. And I understand that I have huge support. So every morning when you don't want to leave your warm bed, you understand your husband now can't take his shower, can't drink a cup of coffee. He's in solitary cell, he has no communication, so stand up and go forward. You have to do this for him, for thousands of people, for millions of Belarusians. You will have your rest later, somewhere together with your husband, but not now.
Svetlana, you have been describing yourself, and I quote you here, as a weak woman, but not anymore.
Okay, I think that every woman is strong. Sometimes maybe it's easier to pretend you are weak, or maybe when life doesn't put you in circumstances where you have to be strong, you think you're weak. My husband was always taking care of me. I thought, oh, I'm weak, what could I do without him? But I see that for him, for millions of Belarusians, I can do so much. So, yes, I'm strong.
Svetlana, if you look back on your old life, what do you miss the most?
I miss...
Apart from your husband, of course.
Look, these are tiny things that you haven't noticed even when you lived with your family. I miss my apartment where I created all the things myself. I miss my relatives. I miss, time with my children because I don't have much of communication with them now. I miss a sense of calmness. In myself. You are always like overstressed. You have to do something. Why are you sitting and drinking your coffee? The mother of 5 children in prison now, she's missing. You have to do all the time, something important, something that will make our victory closer.
Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Og takk til dere som var her I kveld. Og så skal jeg I tillegg få si takk til dere der hjemme, siden dette da min siste sending. Takk for at dere holdt meg med selskap, uke etter uke, år etter år. Og for alle stundene jeg har fått dele med dere. Stunder som den her.
Se ballongerna som flyger lågt lågt över broarna ikväll. Någon dyker från en gammal båt som man hos barnen ropar söt. Det finns rädsla som växer in i den värld som är en slig.